Thank you. Let's bring in Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley. Senator, thanks for the time. I want to start out with the breaking news about Michael Flynn. Your reaction to the DOJ dropping that case?
Should have happened weeks ago, maybe even months ago. It's outrageous the way he's been treated. You spoke about his being an outstanding general. And a lot of this looks like it just happened because Trump was president. Actually, I think there were people in the previous administration after him because he knew what was going on inside the intelligence community, and if he got to be national security advisor for President Trump, he'd know where the bodies are buried, and he would make big changes. And I think that they saw that as a real threat. And things that have been happening, you ought to have those threats hanging out there. But one thing that if I could just make one point before you ask me again, a lot of people are telling me there should be prosecution because of this, and maybe there should be people prosecuted. But the most important thing about this is that a person's been given justice in addition to his justice. The fact that we're getting all this information out that was previously held secret, so this doesn't happen to some innocent person in the future, any American. If it can happen to a general, just think what can happen to the average citizen. So the exposure of this activity at the top of the FBI, and even with collusion within the Justice Department, it's a good thing it's being exposed.
Senator, here's what Democrats say. They say he lied to FBI agents. Here's Adam Schiff tweeted, Flynn pled guilty to lying to the FBI about his illicit Russian contacts. His lies do not now become truths. The dismissal does not exonerate him, but it does incriminate Bill Barr in the worst politicization of the Justice Department in its history. Your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, he was entrapped. And entrapment is unconstitutional. It's a violation of your due process. Secondly, this thing would not be exposed if it hadn't been for Barr taking the bull by the horns and knowing something was wrong and going in and knowing where things were wrong, how to straighten it out. And we haven't heard the end of Bill Barr's good work because everything that's going on with the Durham investigation is another example of still other shoes to drop that I think is going to expose more of this wrong. I think it'll be in the next 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months?
Yes. Well, you know,
and what do you expect to see from that? Do you know?
No, if you're asking me, do I know for sure? No, it's my guess. I think we would have had things out before, except things like this exculpatory information that's come out about Flynn. That's things that maybe Durham didn't know about. And when he gets new evidence, you got to follow it where it leads you. And I think that has extended his investigations and possible prosecution of a lot of people that did things wrong.
Senator, today, rare event, we had the acting Director of National Intelligence, Rick Grinnell, showing up at the DOJ with documents, we're told. We had video of him arriving there, and you called yesterday for these transcripts to be released. Now, tonight, the transcripts are being released. What do you think we'll see inside there as we're going through piece by piece of all of these 53 interviews?
Well, I obviously don't know, but I have a team of investigators that are going to get into those 57 interviews and the thousands and thousands of pages, and we're going to find out. But if there's ever anybody that needs a thank you for this transparency that brings accountability, it's Ambassador Grinnell, because I have never seen anybody so aggressive in seeing abuse of overclassifications to get things declassified. And I've had things held up by the intelligence community for at least 2 years until he got in there and he knew that I was right and I was entitled to that information. The American American people were entitled to that information, and we got it within a day after he looked into it as we asked him to. So
yeah, last thing, Senator, just really quickly, do you think that there are more shoes to drop in the beginning of this investigation that will shock Americans?
Not in regard to just Flynn's part of it, but in regard to Russiagate and in regard to FBI influence and malpractice, and also in regard to a lot of FISA things. Yes, I think there's more shoes to drop, and I think there'll be prosecution.
Senator Grassley, we appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you.